Hi guys, I'm going to work on the first few problems with you so you can do the rest on your own. Number one, remember that the multiplication property would be just adding up all the exponents since we do have all the bases given. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, that would be 6. So this would just be a to the 6th power. Number two, we have 2a squared b times 4ab squared. This case, this is just saying this is multiplying these two terms together. I would do 2 times 4 first. That would give you 8. You can cross out the 2, cross out the 4. A squared times a, that's to the first power. That would be a to the third power. And then we have b to the first power times b squared. That would be b to the third power because it's just 1 plus 2 again. So that would be the answer for number 2. Number 3, this is the same thing as the previous question where we can just multiply each number at a time. I would do 6 times negative 3. That would give you negative 18. Cross out the 6, cross out the negative 3. X squared times x to the 5th, 2 plus 5 is 7, so that would be x to the 7th power. Number 4, again, you would just multiply all of these, but remember that that means that you're adding up all the exponents together. And that would be 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 1. That would be 15 on your calculator, so that would be b to the 15th power. Number 5, now we have 3 terms that you're multiplying by, so I'm going to do 3 times negative 3. That gives you negative 27 on your calculators. So that's done with 3 and the negative 3. X times x to the 4th times x squared. You add up all the exponents. That would be 9. So that would be x to the 9th power. So that would be numbers 1 through 5. Now let's talk about the other multiplication properties we learned where we have an exponent on the outside. For number 6, we know that we're going to have to distribute that squared into every single thing inside the parentheses. That would be 2 squared. X squared times 2 would be 4. 3 times 2 is 6. And now if you simplify this out, this becomes 4, x to the 4th, y to the 6th. Number 7, you do the same thing. So you multiply that 3 into every single thing inside the parentheses. That would be 5 to the 3rd power. 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 cubed on your calculators would give you 125. And then that would simplify to x to the 6th, y to the 12th. That would be the final answer. For numbers 8, same thing. You would have to do 6 to the 3rd power this time. X to the 12th, y to the 18th. And then if you simplify 6 cubed, that would be 216 x to the 12th, y to the 18th. Number 9, that would be 4 to the 3rd power, x to the 9th, y to the 9th. And then if you do 4 to the 3rd power on your calculator, that would be 64, x to the 9th, y to the 9th. Number 10, this time you would have to divide or multiply the 2 into the 7, but that would be 7 squared, x squared, y squared. 7 times 7 on your calculator, that gives you 49, x squared, y squared. And that would be the final answer.